Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now this time it's a little bit of a different video because I've been out and about driving a couple of hire vans. So I thought I'd take you along, show you a couple of the features, because I got two different vans from two different hire companies just to compare up the hire companies, the vans, things like that. So I thought I'd take you along. It's going to be a short video, just a quick one, but then there's a couple more videos coming up over the next couple of weeks that you're going to like. There's something new parked out the front here that I'm not going to show you quite yet, but that's going to be on the future videos. So please make sure you're subscribed, and let's take a look at these two vans. Well, here we go. This is van number one. Now, first of all, unfortunately, I did shoot some footage, but the audio didn't work, so most of this is going to be dubbed on audio. So the first van you can see here, a Vauxhall Vivaro. This was rented from Enterprise, and it's a pretty new van as well. It's registered in March 2021, so it's still pretty shiny actually, and it's got a load of gadgets as well. The Vauxhall is really packed full. Nice and clear dashboard, all digital display you can see in the middle there, with speed, cruise control, all the mod cons, things like that. And actually the aircon system and the environmental climate and stuff like that on the Vivaro was excellent, I've got to say. Also quite a pokey little van, considering it's a 1.5 diesel engine in these Vivaros, Euro 6, so the emissions are fantastic on them as well. Now, I'll tell you what, some have criticised the Vivaro for the driving position and the comfort. I've got to say, I didn't find that at all. I was doing a drive down to London and back, and I thought the driving position and comfort was great. The one I had, the 1.5 diesel, had a 6-speed manual gearbox, and it certainly had a bit of lift. The van wasn't heavily loaded whilst I was driving it. You can see it's only got 27,000 on the clock, so it's a pretty new hire van as well there from Enterprise. And all in all, I thought this was a decent little van actually. It certainly did the job well. Loads of loading space as well, obviously with the side door there. And of course, as you go around to the rear, you've got the twin opening rear doors as well, so nice and easy for loading and things like that. So all in all, the van was really good. I liked driving the Vauxhall Vivaro, obviously driving the Corsa and Zafira, Vauxhall Standard. You know, you're kind of driving the same car over and over when you drive a Vauxhall, which does make things a little bit easier. The only bit I'm going to say the downside to this is actually the hire company. I've had a bad experience with them a few times in the past now, so I don't think I'll be going with Enterprise again in the future, because although there was no issues on this trip, it's not the best customer experience in the world. So I think that's all that I'm going to say on that matter really. So that was all I really got from the Vauxhall Vivaro. So why don't we move on and let's take a look at the other van that I hired. This one came from Practical Car and Van Hire, and this one is the Ford Transit Custom. Now this one a little bit older, March 2019. It's got a 2-litre turbo diesel, again Euro 6, so it had a fair bit of nip to it actually. Again, the 6-speed gearbox was pretty smooth and easy to use, and again, driving to London and back was pretty effortless in the Ford Transit. I've got to say, I didn't find the driving position quite as comfortable on this. I don't know whether I just couldn't adjust the seat quite as successfully or what it was really, but it just didn't feel as comfortable to drive, even though the dashboard, you can see there, so much clearer, lovely and bright. and really obvious gauges and things like that. Now this one was a very base model, so no electric mirrors you can see there. There's no controls, they're just manual control. No automatic lights, no cruise control, anything like that. Basic climate control system, no air conditioning as well. So this really was the base model that I got here. But even so, not a bad van. So then, what's it like to drive? Well, like most modern vans, really easy to be honest. It's got a nice 6-speed gearbox. I find first and second a little bit jerky, but I don't know if that's just the clutch on this is well. Most vans get abused, don't they? And this one's on 83,000 miles on the clock, so it's done a fair old number of miles. I mean, they'll go forever, these vans, if they're serviced properly and looked after. And I've got to say, driving-wise, it's feeling pretty tidy, this van. No problems at all. Nice responsive brakes, and actually a little bit of acceleration in the gearbox and from the diesel engine as well. So not too bad actually. I'd be quite happy driving around, and I've got quite a drive ahead of me, so I don't think it's going to affect me too badly. I think it's pulling away quite nicely in all of the gears, and doing the motorway runs, it just sits there quite happily, gets up to 70 and sits there. Now the downside to the one that I do have is that I don't have cruise control on it, which I thought was more of a standard these days, but I think this is a base model because it's got an awful lot of things missing. Don't even have power mirrors on this one, which I've not come across. I thought that was pretty much standard on every vehicle now. So you just have to get out and prod at your mirrors. I haven't had to do that for a lot of years now. Loads of cup holders. The cabin's a nice place to be. I didn't notice that the cabin heaters did warm up really quickly actually, which is always handy on those cold winter nights. So yeah, not bad going. Got quite a drive ahead, so I'm going to crack on, and I'll show you a bit more about the van later. So there we go, that's my brief outing in the two vans. Which one would I choose? Well, it's difficult because the Vauxhall Vivaro was a brand new, it's a really new van, and had loads of gadgets and add-ons and things like that. So that one did make the drive a little bit easier, the bit of cruise control, just the added extras. But I've got to say the service from Practical with the Ford Transit would mean I would go back to them in an instant. Great customer service from the Hartlepool branch of Practical, and I've got to say, yeah, it's a little bit older van, doesn't have all the add-ons, but it still did the job spot on, got me to London and back really comfortably. So I think I'd take either.